Pokemon, you know it, I know it, but what do y'all know about the side series Pokemon Mystery Dungeon? You know, the fun little dungeon crawler where you were once a human, now turned Pokemon. You go and explore, you complete quests, apprehend criminals, and fight literal gods. Because I like making things more difficult for myself, I made the fantastic decision to take all of the Pokemon in the game, starters, enemies, friends, everything, and make it all completely random. By the way, this was all streamed live over on my Twitch, so go check that out if you haven't already. But anyway, let's get into this wacky journey that was our first randomized Pokemon Mystery Dungeon experience. Much like every Pokemon game, they hit the ground running by grilling a child with very personal questions about their moral character, as the game will judge you for it. But since this is a randomizer, the questions in question are a little nonsensical. Where are you from? Yeah. After the personality quiz, we were determined to accept whatever came our way as our starter, because why not leave it up to chance? This resulted in us having to go forward as Pichu. Okay, not really, you know, that great getting a baby Pokemon with a soft spot in its skull, but maybe our partner will be different. Once again, though, in true randomizer fashion, I leave it up to chance, as there are some choice options here, along with some that are less than desirable. But after spinning a fun little wheel, what do we land on? Claydol. It's not who I want. I could have gotten Palkia, but sure. I guess I'll take Claydol. What's a good nickname for a partner? This is gonna be permanent too, so there's no changing this. I'm stuck with whatever I get. Bofa, Ligma, these nuts. All right, you know what? I'm naming him Bofa. Because why not? So there it is. We get to roam around as Pichu and our Claydol partner Bofa into the unknown. This is gonna go great. Which, before we go, I should add a little disclaimer. If you're not familiar with the games, good luck following. And if you are, have fun. Straight into it, there's an accident at sea and we're half dead on the beach. Meanwhile, Bofa sits outside a cult, has a depressive episode, and gets stalked by gang members. Cut to the beach and we're found unconscious and barely breathing, give our name, watch the poor kid get mugged of his rock collection, and then agree to help get it back. By the way, remember how we were Pichu? Well, we certainly can tell by our move pool. Charm, Thundershock, and Tail Whip. Very cool. The first dungeon isn't really anything noteworthy. It's nothing but a tutorial, and, you know, we just breeze right by it. Which, by the way, I won't bore anyone with those details, so we'll just skip right along the dungeon crawls and just skip to the good parts. With that being said, we confront the thieves and enter our first boss battle of the run. Screw it, I'll just use it. Why not? Okay, well, they have to be... He knows quick attack. Okay, very cool. Sure. No! What the fuck? 40 damage? Am I even needed here? Holy shit. Okay. What the fuck? What's that all about? So after that little preview of how the game going forward is going to be, Bofa gives us the lore on his rock while we start to realize the deep shit we're about to be in. It's gonna be a long game as a Pichu, that's for sure. Nothing to do now but accept what fate has brought to us and head straight into the unknown. So now that we did the rock quest, our job was now to form an exploration team over at the Exploration Guild, which require our footprint to enter. Kind of freaky if you ask me. So after the bouncer Luminion gives us the okay to enter, we're harassed by the staff, meet the owner, and now we're coming up with a team name for our new exploration team. Seems like a great team name right here. You know what I'm saying, everybody? Keeping the theme going after Bofa, I decided to name our team Ligma because while it's not really funny, it's fitting for the occasion. With a team name and a license to kill, we're ready to become the greatest exploration team ever conceived. Next morning, get yelled at by a dog, harassed by our now manager again, and get sent off to certain death on our first mission. The bird's beating my ass, bro. Oh, fuck. Shit. Okay, well, of all things to beat me, I didn't think it'd be a fucking Zubat. This is off to a great start. After getting our ass beat, we get fed, yelled at again, and manage to succeed the second time around. After a job well done, we get paid our peanuts and get the grand tour of the town. We eventually run into a couple of orphans, had a migraine accompanied by hallucinations, met up with the orphans talking with a stranger who gave us another migraine, learned he was a straight up convict, and now we're responsible for getting the child he abducted back. Let this be a reminder to you that when someone offers you a puppy or says they got like some rare treasure that you lost on the other side of a mountain range, the protocol should be to say no or call the police, but we know what the fuck do I know? Also, during this dungeon, I made a class move and let the dyslexia take over and ate a berry that definitely was not the healing kind, so that was cool. Oh, I saw it was the wrong one. I saw it was the wrong one. I killed myself. Oh, well, that's great. Okay, that's great. Back in the dungeon, and guess what? We get to learn a new move. What? Okay, that's not too bad. That's not bad, but like, I don't really want that. I really want an attack move. Please, I'm begging you. In any case, though, it's time to make our mark and curb stomp this menace to society. We chose to lead with Sweet Kiss, which I should mention is an absolutely insane move to have so early on, because once an enemy is confused, it just becomes capital punishment, since all I have to do at that point is stone Metagross to death. And spoiler alert, this method works very well in most situations. Sweet Kiss might actually be the carry for the run. I confused him and I beat him to death with rocks. Oh my god. But anyway, we call the cops, Metagross gets detained, orphans reunite, and once again, we get shortchanged for our service. Bofa decides after a long day of work to lore dump about the time gears to us right before bed, which in this world are little gears that keep the flow of time moving in a given area, and I guess, like, you know, they'd all just kind of work together. I don't really know, but we don't have to worry about that. Meanwhile, said monologue, we learn that someone that definitely isn't a Grovyle scene here has found one, but we'll get to that later. Next day, it's back to the old grind of menial labor for meager pay. This is the part of the game that gives you a little bit more freedom to choose what jobs to take and explore where you want to go and get rewarded for doing said jobs. Aside from the story, this is essentially the entire crux of the game, and a lot of hilarity ensues, but we'll get there later. Next day, we gotta play the foot game, which is basically just a waste of time. You know, this would be someone's dream job, just to like sit here and watch like feet all day, but we get paid for it at least. Next day, we get more labor, which includes, but not limited to, finding lost dementia patients and bringing in dangerous criminals, which I should mention, I don't know how old our characters are, but going under the assumption that they're children, this seems like a hell of a career to enlist as a child, but whatever, we persist anyway. The next day, we learned that time has stopped in a forest, said damn that sucks, then got praised and rewarded for, you guessed it, more minimum wage labor. Got sent to explore a waterfall, jump into it for the thrill, explore a mystery cave, touched a rock that we definitely shouldn't have, and then got swept away to an old man's hot spring. After all that, we get told to do our best so that we can join the big company boondoggle. Bofa then gets jumped by gang members who introduce us to their leader, who I should mention is normally a skunk tank. Oh my god, dude. He's got gamer aura. So after getting assaulted by a pheromone maxer, it's back to work where we can also now rope others into our dangerous line of duty. This definitely makes taking down criminals much easier since there are now other targets that can get hit other than Bofa and I, especially when criminals have accomplices. Okay. We're in trouble now. Lucky for us, we can easily cheese these monster houses with orbs and target the head honcho because, as previously stated, Pichu is a hilariously weak Pokemon in a cruel world. But then it's dinner time again, we get to look at even more strangers' feet, and then the day after that, we get felons as roommates. But life goes on and rent won't pay itself, so it's back to the dungeons where we run into a little bit of a hiccup. Oh my god, this again? Oh, and great, it's a fucking sandstorm too, why don't you? Unfortunately, I didn't have any real way to weasel out of this one, and with a combination of sandstorm and a Venomoth who knew Silverwind, it sort of ended in disaster. Continuing with the story, however, we're tasked with finding perfect apples or the Guildmaster will actually implode. So off to the apple woods we go in search of the aforementioned fruit. I gotta tell you, so far, it's been a pretty easy run, with little to no errors made. Except we run into an Abomasnow and Bofa gets hit with a powdered snow, so that's fantastic. But on the second attempt, we collect another new member that we will definitely be using, and just like that, we reach the end of the forest, where we are once again greeted by Stinkass and crew, who decide to unleash an unholy stench upon us and just yoink all the apples. To which Cedric gets pissed at us for getting mugged. Guildmaster unleashes 1% of his power, which is stopped by Polyrath's crew by giving the apples that got taken from us. But we're moving on. You might notice now that we're skipping around a little bit, but, you know, truthfully, if I include every detail of this game in this video, it's going to be a feature-length film, and my ass is not about to be working on this for that long. So, apologies for that one, but also not really. In any case, it's mission time, and I have a score to settle. Yeah, this shit again, huh? I came prepared, fucko. You know the drill, use a few orbs to even the playing field, and then 4v1 the outlaw, and then carry on. I still have yet to get my first. I don't even think I will. What? I mean, 0-2, but you know, what can you do? A good chunk of this game is completing these missions, but sometimes luck just isn't on your side, especially when you're running on a randomizer. The best way of going about it is just rolling with the punches, as my partner is learning some choice moves. Self-destruct? No. Absolutely not. But every day is a new beginning. Miles go for miles. Yep. Oh my god, sentry duty again. Great. And then some days you just get stuck chasing outlaws because apparently sometimes they can just flee and run from you. And sometimes that means you just gotta throw rocks at a cornered fish until it stops moving. Fucking Christ. I just stoned it to death. Another successful run down, and would you believe it or not, that's all we need to get accepted into the big grand adventure expedition, so that's a win in my book. Oh, and I also forgot that the chapter titles were also random, so sometimes you get stuff like this. Saving is not really important. Those are random too, I forgot. There really isn't anything interesting that happens in these first couple dungeons, so let's just say it was a job well done and we got to the meetup location in one piece. So anyway, a big rat tells us tall tales about memory-wiping monkeys. We ponder about said monkeys, and Bofa finds another rock for the collection. Very cool. On to the next dungeon. A relicanth? Electric type moves are weakened. That is so cool, because that's the only attack that I have. Really? That's what we're doing? Having only Thundershock as our one attacking move really doesn't help us at all because, truthfully, it's not a strong move to begin with, so it really is just relying on Bofa to attack everything while we play support, which, believe it or not, is actually a really good strategy. We finally reached the end, discovered the Squirtle statue, and Bofa decides to shove a rock into it, which ends up clearing the fog. Once again, we get harassed by a large-smelling man and his goons, but the Guildmaster stumbles on in, which allows us to move forward no problems. Diving straight into the Steam Cave, we make it to the end with little to no problems, and the rest of the gang plays catch-up, except for those three who got their ass beat, but, you know, this isn't about them, so who cares? Meanwhile, now we're stuck facing the legendary guardian of the Steam Cave, Squirtle. Well, that's, you know, it's not Groudon, but... which isn't as intimidating as it normally would be if it was Groudon, but either way, you know the drill by this point. Spam Sweet Kiss and we lay enough attacks and thorns into the Squirtle to kill it with minimal effort. Too easy. We then get to meet the Lake Guardian Apom and get really excited over a time gear, get told we're overthinking things, and everyone gets to look at a pretty funny glitch, thus concluding our fog-bound lake adventure. Next chapter, here we go. It's at this point in the game where we're introduced to the legendary explorer Dusknor, who everyone gawks over, but you know the drill by this point, because instead of a Dusknor, we're given... oh my god, Dusknor is cast form? It's a fucking cast form? Are you serious? Oh my god, that is hilarious. So now he's here, says hi and bye, and we're back to work. You followed right into my trap. Yeah, oh my god, 3 Agrons? Are you kidding me? Cheesing another monster house and getting the job done, what can I say? Moving along with the plot, however, someone stole the time gear that we literally just saw, and who else but our previously seen assailant, Ninetales. On to more pressing matters, though, as orphans got their shit yoinked and is being held ransom in the Ant Plain, so off we go to get their item back, because that's our job for some reason. So here we are again, doing another job out of the kindness of our hearts, only to find out we're treading into the danger zone, but who would have guessed? All this while we encounter the true final boss of the game, Buizel. 57? What? This fucking Buizel? Excuse me? You know, sometimes bad things happen. Sometimes you just gotta, you get the type of disadvantage, and sometimes it's just chalked up to poor planning, but we press on anyway. Once we reach the end, however, the dreaded Whiscash and Trico entourage greet us with violence for stepping into their hood. Truth be told, we really weren't prepared for such an encounter, and it didn't really take too long for the team to get picked apart in no time, but, what can you do? Normal people would take the L and reevaluate the plan on how to tackle these problems, but, that's not me. Stubbornness is a great trait to have when you're determined enough, and determined we are. In doing so, we managed to find the TM for the move Wide Slash, which is a fantastic move that we can actually use because up until this point, Pichu has not been able to learn a single attack move via leveling up or other TMs we find. And we're at level 25 at this point, so, this will prove to be a great asset. Within the next couple of minutes, though, we get slapped by Slugma, and there really wasn't much to do about that. Wake up! Wake up! Fucking God! I guess it's just time to restock our supply. So after making it back to Whiscash with a loaded inventory and backup, it's time to give this another try. And by the way, Wide Slash, super useful when fighting multiple opponents. Okay, wow, that was way easier than it was the first time. After beating up a fish and his gecko posse, Castform swoops in to stop the fighting, gives us a diagnosis for our hysterics, and then Bofa proceeds to give him my name, social security number, and address, to which Castform seems very happy about. Not too much longer after that, another time gear got stolen, and we set off to locate another. After searching through a desert, finding nothing but quicksand, we just go home. But the next day, we get the excellent idea to go trudge through the desert again and play in the sand based on a hunch, and would you believe it, there's another dungeon here. Once we complete this one, we make it to the underground lake, where another lake guardian, Relicanth, is protecting the time gear. So after putting our hands on another fish, Ninetales arrives to swoop up the time gear, which we definitely just made it easier to do so, and once it's taken, the flow of time begins to stop in the area, so that probably dropped the ball on that one there, not gonna lie. So we narc to the police about it, touch a crystal that triggers another Vietnam flashback to learn that Ninetales is gonna jump the last guardian in the trio. So off to Crystal Cave we go to put a stop to that. Took a quick intermission to solve a puzzle for children and progressed forward. Or at least until, Bofa encountered a Sandshrew with Fury Swipes. God, please no. Please no. Please no. Please! Okay. No, I'm not gonna call for a rescue. God damn it. Alright. So we try again the next day. Seed. This has gotta be some bullshit. Luckily, we had orbs that allowed us to scrape by and move forward with the mission, at least until Bofa encountered a Cacturn with Feint Attack. Oh, hell nah, man. Really? Oh, fucking Christ. But at least we made it to the end on the third day where prophecy has come to pass. We just happened to make it in time despite taking multiple days to get there. Now, that's neither here nor there at this point, but we do have to fight Ninetales, which by this point you should know how this goes. Right before things go south, Castform once again swoops in to save the day, which causes Ninetales to puss out of the fight while we black out and wake up back at home. Castform then proceeds to lore dump on us, talking about time-traveling Pokemon, including himself, and a future of gray skies and dead trees. But we have more important priorities like our grueling 9 to 5, along with my in-real-life priorities like making sure my dog doesn't eat things that aren't food. What did you have? Oh my god, he's got a hair tie. Hang on, I have to go get that shit from him. But anyway, that happened. We made a painfully unfunny joke and we're moving on. Next day. The cops pull up telling us that they caught Ninetales while we twiddled our thumbs. We witness a perp walk, and then it's time for Castform and Co. to return to the future. We say our goodbyes, then get hit with the or is it, and then get dragged into a wormhole by a cloud with no hands. We then cut to Castform talking to his overlord, who we will keep as a surprise because it most definitely isn't Dialga, which in case you forgot, this is indeed a randomizer, so even the final boss isn't safe. So now we're in prison where Clef is our guards for some reason, and we get all dolled up for an actual live execution by getting slashed to death, which by all means is brutal for a kid's game. Holy shit. Luckily, no one thought that in doing so would cut the ropes restraining us, which seems like a lack of foresight in my opinion. But in any case, it allows us to throw a flashbang Ninetales had and provides a very easy escape. So now we're here in the future, on the run from the police, where all time has ceased, leading us to our dark, brooding era of commentary. The Dark Hill. It's like a regular hill, but dark. Look, I'll be honest. These next couple of dungeons definitely got the better of me with how much bad luck we ran into during our time here. So, you know, here's some highlights of that to get the... Okay. Oh, did I put my reviver seed away? Oh, fuck. I guess I did. Oh my god. 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 I can't move. I can't move. And the goddamn Del Caddy. Oh my god. What the fuck, dude? Fuck. Where did my I swear to god I had a reviver seed. I swear to god. Where did it go? Oh, and there's a bomb of snow here too, so that's just gonna start hailing on me. Maybe this was a miscalculation. Okay. Oh, that's fantastic. Okay. And I just got bubbled from a I got fucking shot. I got assassinated. That's enough health. Oh, thank God I finally made it halfway. You know, aside from some bullshit plays and some avoidable mistakes on my end, you know, whatever, who cares? We get a preview of our next obstacle that we got across. But first, a Lunatone, a Zubat, and a Snorlax walk into a bar. And they're like, yo, I got this Bulbasaur friend. Let's go change a light bulb. Zubat, have mercy. And I miss. And then I get body slammed. Okay. Okay. So a Snorlax, a Zubat, and a freaking Lunatone walk into a bar. They get their pal Bulbasaur and jump the weakest guy there. How cool. Truly, we are our worst enemy, and humor is the only way of coping because it took us like 50 minutes to finally get here, so cut me some slack. We now rejoin Ninetales, who got beat up and battered by the dreaded Stunky, who has multiple personality disorder and truthfully wasn't very intimidating. Nor was it very challenging. Yeah, okay. I'm fucking shaking in my boots from Stunky. After all that, we finally put our faith into Ninetales since he's not actively trying to kill us, who also explains that he was the one trying to fix shit and we were just being gaslit about the whole thing. So now the mission is to locate the legendary Beedrill, who's going to help us go back into our time so we can stop the planet's time from freezing and turning the world monochrome. And after a short hop, skip, and jump through the forest, we find our bee friend, and now we got to go over the woods and through the river to find the time hole to get us back to the present, so that's fun. Unfortunately for us, Castform and the Cloud Gang were ready to jump us the moment we stepped foot into their hood, and even brought their big boss to stop us. With nothing else to lose, Ninetales laments about his lost partner who came with him to the past, which, surprise, surprise, has been us, Pichu, the former human, the whole time. Castform lays out the business after putting all the pieces together, so yeah, Castform is kind of an asshole. Anyway, with some quick thinking, we managed to slip by everyone only to get revealed seconds later, but hey, at least we were able to escape. Now, in order to lay low, Bofa takes us to his man cave, Ninetales becomes our ally, and our new mission begins. Thievery. The plan here is now to collect all the time gears ourselves and stop the planet's paralysis. So here we are in the Tree Shroud Forest to get the first one Ninetales stole all those minutes ago. We come to learn that time is still stopped in the area despite the fact the time gear was returned. So, you know, we just steal it because what difference does it make at this point, you know? Ninetales explains that the reason time is out of whack and breaking is because Temporal Tower, which is a physical location that keeps time flowing, is starting to collapse. So to split up the work and move the plot faster, it's up to Ninetales to search for the rest of the time gears, and it's up to us to find the hidden land, which is essential to finding Temporal Tower and stopping all this shit from breaking, so, you know, no pressure there. After a lot of worrying and hyperventilating on the beach, we go back to the guild for help locating this hidden land, spill the beans to everyone only to be gaslit despite getting forcefully dragged into a wormhole in front of the whole fucking city. But using simple reasoning skills, the guild's on our side now, and we get told to go harass the elderly since they're old as shit and might know something. Now we talk to an Alzheimer's patient who kind of knows and only speaks in riddles, so we just go home and go to bed. But like clockwork, Mr. Magoo comes rushing back to inform us that he does indeed remember what happened in Nom. We show him Bofa's rock, Aerodactyl moves the plot forward, and Stinkass and crew make a comeback. We get left a note in our lunchbox wishing us luck, and off we go to Brine Cave where we're accompanied by bitch-ass Cedra, so, you know, fun. Bofa gets mugged again, Cedra gets pissy and wants to smoke, and now we gotta play catch-up because of course we do. We end up reaching the deepest part of the cave where we find out it's Polly Raps for the Bonehead crew who give us our rock back because they just got curb stomped. Then we enter the wrong neighborhood once again, Cedra takes a bullet, and now we gotta throw hands. This fight wasn't all that interesting as it was just the same old spam sweet kiss and knock them while they're down. Anyway, Cedra is on his dying breath, but who cares? We got more important shit to worry about, like Bofa's rock powering a beacon of light, to summon Mantike to be our guide to the hidden land. We then get this cool cutscene that would definitely make a lot more sense in the base game, but hey, hidden land time. Just another dungeon to crawl through as we get cucked once again since Bofa does nothing but learn new attack moves while we still haven't learned a single move since the damn near beginning of the game. But that's expected at this point. Bofa really taking the brunt of this. Oh my god, he's learned he can learn Hyper Beam? Bro. Murals and lore, finding X marks the spot, then getting straight jumped by Castform, who always happens to be at the right place at the right time. I swear, this fucker just has omnipotence at this point. But we finally make our stand against the Cloud and his pink bastard crew, which can just two-shot Bofa, which I mean, like, okay? So back to the hidden land we go, and I don't know what kind of luck we had the first time around, but just trying to get back to Castform was nothing but pain and anguish. Ah, all right. The hidden highlands are really hiding my hidden fury and rage. Oh, brilliant. I don't even know what happened. I don't even know what happened there. I can't even look. I can't even look. I can't even look. Oh, so you just know Ice Shard like that. Okay. Oh, yeah. How's a rock going for you? Oh, shit. And you know discharge. Of course you know discharge. And it has to be right fucking there. There are 9 items on this floor. Like, hello? What does that mean? That's what that means. Well, might as well go down swinging, I guess. Like, there's just no way, right? What the fuck, dude? Get out of here, dork. They just appear out of nowhere. They just appear out of nowhere. I'm paralyzed, and they just used 2 Zen headbutts in a row? I don't fucking think so, pal. Eventually, we just had to leave and resupply because after like half an hour of trying, I was just starting to lose my patience. And, you know, like how it usually goes, we just speed run through this shit on the first attempt back. Anyways, Castform, right? Gotta put him to sleep because that's one less problem to deal with. And then it's just a matter of killing all these stupid Cleffas. But we loaded up on Reviver Seeds, so this time it's just Raps for the whole squad. After a long, hard-fought battle, Castform hits us with the "you change the past, you change the future" bullshit, meaning we die if we go through with it. Bofa continues to play with rocks just out of earshot. We get knocked out by a Cloud who just doesn't know when to give up, thus leaving Ninetales to make the noble sacrifice and giving us the mission of killing God. They're going back to the future. So as we make our way up the Temporal Tower, our randomized Pokemon Mystery Dungeon run is coming to a close. And just like that, we're here, and might I add, luck was not on our side. Executor? Why are you throwing the band? You dumbass. Are you fucking serious? Okay. It woke up, and then I just died. God fucking damn it. I just get one tapped? They just fucking one tap. If I see a Nido Queen, it's just over? God, I do not want to have to climb back down just to go right back up. You're kidding. It slowed me down. It's impossible. It's quite frankly impossible. Hey, hello. The Feraligatr. Oh, I need to switch places with him really bad. No! This is not going... I don't even see the Needle Queen. It just kills me without even me knowing. So, time to make a quick pit stop and try again, but much like every other time this happens, we just coincidentally managed to climb the entire dungeon with 0 problems all of a sudden. All of that just to get smacked by some fucking crocodile. Alright, anyway. But we finally made it to the end of our long trek, and all that's left to do is defeat our final, most powerful opponent up until this point. Rattata. The guardian of time and our toughest challenge yet. Was it really necessary to bulk up on drugs and continuously blind and sleep the rat? I don't know, but despite how much I played it up to be, this was one of the easiest fights in the entire run because, I mean, what? Take him while he's down. Oh my god, it knows that? That's crazy. You cannot be serious with this shit. You cannot be serious. It took me fucking like 20-30 minutes to get through the entire temporal tower. And it took me like 3 to beat this fucking rat. Are you kidding me? Come on. Regardless though, we put the time gears back into place, witnessed the end of the world, and suddenly everything is fine as seen via Rattata telepathy and voodoo magic. But since we fucked around and changed history, it was time to say bye to Bofa and disappear into the ether for good, which honestly, kind of traumatizing to see your friend Pichu vaporized like that. Bofa makes it home and starts telling the tale of everything that transpired like some fucked up telegram, and just lives like that for months before getting re-traumatized by thinking too much. That's a rough there, fella. Bam! Credits roll. Wow. Boom. Bada bing, bada boo. Yeah, like that. There you go. But like every happy ending, our good friend Time Rat decides to give the gift of, oh shit, I forgot your birthday a few months ago, so here's this to make up for it. And just like a phoenix, we rise, and the curtain drops on our journey for now. Maybe. If you made it this far, shout out to you, for real. I would like to do more stuff like this, but you know, it takes time, so bear with me on that. If you enjoyed, yeah, why don't you leave a like or subscribe or something, and maybe I'll do more of this. But in the meantime, thank you all for watching, and good night!